Welcome, everyone, to episode 61 of Around the Book podcast. This week we have week 10 of NFL and week 11 of college football. A few good games in college football this week, a few good games in the NFL. We're finally, I don't even know if you can say we're finally starting to get a picture of what the playoffs are going to look like, because I think it could be completely different than what it is now in 2 weeks. So we'll get into that a little bit. But does anyone have any grievances with last week? Any teams you want to curse or?
Yeah, mostly just the player. Luke Altmaier. Just quit playing football. Just stop. Just stop it. Just knock it off. Just anytime you pick a football, just never pick up a football again, and just go away.
Yeah. I can see why you say that. Anyone else?
No. Both my teams suck. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's been a tough year.
It was tough to see the Bengals defense just that was in rare form.
We made them look guys. We made them look That's a sad thing.
Yeah. But hey, there's always this week. And we'll go ahead and get into this week. But before we do, does anyone have any non-football bets? I know college basketball has started. NBA is starting to heat up. Hockey. Anyone got anything before we get into any of our football picks?
I do have one that I'm looking at. This week is the NASCAR championship race.
Ooh.
And I did originally, I did my future on William Byron. He is one of the 4 left. I am doubling down on him again this week to win it all. Right now, the odds on him winning on winning the championship race are at plus 600. What I like for him is to win. I'm trying to see if there are odds on him winning the championship itself. Right now, to win the championship, he's at plus 250. I like that more than anything. So, William Byron, NASCAR Cup Series championship winner at plus 250.
We have not had NASCAR in forever, so I guess it's nice to see it make a comeback.
Last race of the year.
You said there was 4 people left?
There's 4 guys left. Yeah, it's Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Joey Logano, and Tyler Reddick. And there's been a ton of controversy with guys because a guy that was supposed to get into the top 4 got DQ'd for wall riding.
You hate to
there
see
was
it.
also a weird point snafu at one point.
I didn't know you could get DQ'd for wall riding.
Yeah, it was something that happened 2 years ago at Martinsville, and then someone tried it again, and they said it's a safety issue, and you can't do it.
Right. I actually do remember it 2 years ago. Do they just race by themselves with just 4 cars?
No, it's like
because that's what I want to have happen. If there's
it's not like the end of the movie Cars.
I was literally thinking that.
That's why I asked, because I was like, is that how it works? Because I want it to be that way. Because I think it'd be very funny to watch just 4 cars on a full NASCAR race. I think it'd be.
But in real life, that would be boring as hell.
I mean, I already kind of think it is anyway, but that's just my first.
No, but because they would just never really, for 99% of the race, they wouldn't be anywhere near each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't make any sense, but it would be funny to me to watch it. So
yeah,
that's all I would say. Just wanted to ask about that.
It'd be interesting because everyone would have clean air the entire time.
Yeah, be interesting for sure. Yeah.
Anyone else have any non-football picks? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Well, until next Wednesday.
I'm already ready for NBA and NHL seasons to end.
Oh.
If they ended tomorrow, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, how's the Sixers doing, Dalton?
And Embiid might play soon.
Well, when is he allowed to play?
What?
When's he allowed to play?
I mean, I think it's whenever at this point. I don't think
Well,
he's
he's got-
actually hurt.
He has a 3-game suspension now, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do
that's
those
what,
count?
that's what I was talking about. So
I think they
Yeah.
do.
Do those? Yeah, I was gonna say, do those count if he's on some sort of like injured designation or anything?
It's a good question.
I don't know actually. But
My
that'd be
guess
funny if they're like
is
he's just
take
still
the
injured.
injury designation
Yeah.
off. He's not actually hurt,
Yeah.
I don't
Well, yeah.
unless they don't want him to play anytime soon, which could also be a possibility. I could see them waiting until like Tyrese Maxey is like dead from carrying this team to a 500 record, and then they're like, "All right, MP, you take over for a little bit."
Yeah.
Running hockey lines out there, fucking.
It's
fucking
just
nice
about
play.
getting to the
Taking-
seven. It's just about
Taking
getting
load management, dude, to a whole new level. All right. Let's get into college football here. Week 11. Let's go ahead and get into our locks. My lock of the week is a team that they just keep on doing it. I'm going BYU minus 3.5 at Utah.
That's mine too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to keep riding the hot hand on this one. BYU minus 3.5.
Nice.
I get it. Yeah.
I don't hate it. I have a different bet on that game.
I guess.
Uh-oh.
I bet he's
No, it's not-
Utah
not
plus
Utah.
3.5 because he's always
No,
got to be
I have
opposite.
the over. I have the over on that in my
Okay.
parlay, but no. No, I don't know why I don't trust the spread is just weird for me. But
All right, just stop.
Yeah, I
You're
get it.
ruining it for me.
all right,
You're
my
going to
lock,
ruin my excitement.
my lock this week though is Oregon State minus 3 at minus 105 against San Jose State because San Jose State sucks. Like
Yeah.
they're just a bad football team. Oregon State's not much better, but Oregon State I think is at least a real Division I football program, and San Jose State's barely an FBS team. So that's kind of what I'm going with there. I trust Oregon State to cover a field goal at home.
Yeah.
I like that. My lock of the week is Indiana minus 13.5 against Michigan this week.
Ooh.
Indiana is just blowing teams out. Their last 4 final scores are 47-10 win, 31-17 win, which I guess isn't that much of a blowout. But they have a 56-7 win and then a 41-24 win. They haven't played a close game in a while, and I just don't think Michigan's very good. But yeah, 8th ranked Indiana.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
Love it. Yeah,
But yeah,
I
I'm
am
taking
too.
them at minus 13.5.
I have Michigan plus 14.5 in my parlay.
I knew it.
I mean,
You should have known.
yeah, that's fair.
I just love their defense. Like I get Michigan's not good, but their defense is still really good.
Yeah.
And
This
I
could
just
be
don't-
like 17-10 or something.
Yeah.
Could be.
Oh yeah. Their
24-17.
offense can't do shit. But I think it'll be like a 20-10 or something like that game.
Fair enough. My lock was technically BYU minus 3.5, but I can give another one. Give me LSU plus 2.5
Ooh.
against Alabama. I don't know if I can trust LSU, but I certainly know I can't trust Alabama with shit. So give me the points on LSU at home. So that's pretty
Yeah.
much my whole take on that. Also, Alabama being inside the top 12 just doesn't feel good to me.
Yeah, I feel
Just
that.
don't really feel like that. I need them out of there. Get them out of here.
Yeah. I
Get
agree.
them out of here.
Isn't it
I
funny how
want it.
much that rivalry has fallen off in the last
Yeah.
decade?
Because
Like,
now
it
it's just
does
their
nothing
mid.
for me anymore.
Yeah.
One team is either mid or is in Alabama's case is just like we know you're Alabama, but we don't think you're Alabama anymore either. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. what to do
We're
with that.
we're a far cry from the trilogy game in the national championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, which were disgusting ass games.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like,
Rematch game, yeah.
9-6 or whatever the hell it was. Whatever the
Yeah.
hell it was.
All right. Well, speaking of Alabama and LSU, let's get into our favorites. I actually like the over in that game of 58.5. I
Okay.
just think that it's going to be a lot of scoring. So I like the over 58.5 in that one.
I like it. Milrose playing well, and Alabama doesn't have a defense. It just doesn't exist.
Yeah, I think this game could just be a shootout of who's most ass and who doesn't want to get knocked out of the top 25.
Maybe the two most different quarterbacks, but possible. Also,
Yes.
which I think is funny.
Yes.
Which I think is really fun as well.
For my favorite bet this week, I'm also staying in the most chaotic conference in college football. I'm taking Vandy money line at plus 136 at home against South Carolina. I like Vandy. Vandy's a fun team to root for. They're a fun team to bet for, and they're becoming a reliable team to bet on. I mean, they are legitimately one of the better teams in the SEC right now, whereas South Carolina, they're one of the chaotic teams that you just have no idea what you're going to get every week. They're South Carolina and Kentucky are basically the same team. And Florida, they're just teams that they're not good, but they somehow sometimes play well, and it increases value. But they're not beating Vandy at home. They're not beating Vandy in Vandy. No chance.
I like it. That was one of my underdogs. All right. So one bet I love is I was gonna pick BYU minus 3.5 for this, but that's already out there. So I'm gonna pivot to Pitt minus 7.5 against Virginia.
Bounce back.
It's coming off a tough loss this past week, but they're still ranked 23rd. And Virginia, I don't think is very good. They've lost 4 in a row now, and their last win was against Coastal Carolina. I don't think Pitt is good enough to necessarily win this game in a blowout, but I do think they can win by 8 at home.
Yeah, Shane, before you get started, that is one team, Pitt. I thought that they were just invincible, and SMU just slaughtered them. It was terrible. Just took them up and down the field. So, yeah, I'm not betting on Pitt ever again. They lost all their magic. That's it. But good luck, Jake. Sorry.
That was the ultimate. Before you talk, Shane, let me talk about something here real quick, and then just absolutely beat the shit out of Jake. Just spit on him, get him out of
here. Let me
here.
handle this real quick.
He wasn't on the show last week, so maybe he could restart their magic.
I don't know.
It's
With all due respect.
Virginia's a great team to have a rebound against.
But good luck, Jake. Good luck.
All due respect, Pitt is a FCS team.
And I'm speaking out of anger, so they could.
Yeah, I get it. I've decided to not mention Pitt's name this year because I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't want anything to do with them, frankly. For my favorite, similar space, it's just plus 3.5 Vanderbilt. I'm not taking money line, Dalton, but I'm with you on the Vanderbilt line. It just doesn't feel like that's fair, like a real line. I get it. Listen, Vanderbilt is not ass. I know it's hard to imagine. It's hard to think about, but eventually they got to get with it, right?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
But no.
Time, maybe.
Yeah. So, I'm there with you on that. I think they're going to at least cover, if not win.
Love it. Yeah. Can Vandy win the SEC? Technically,
no, but they can go to the SEC title game. I think. I don't think they have any chance at doing that much.
Well, I think what Case is asking is, could they potentially get to the title game?
They,
and then,
could they?
Absolutely.
Do they still have a chance? I wasn't sure.
I mean, they only have 2 conference losses, right?
I think so. Texas and who else do they lose to? I forget.
So right now they're 3-2 in the conference, and they are in 6th place in the conference. But if my upset pick hits this week, they will definitely move up a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a very good chance that, if a few teams drop this week, they could definitely get in. The way the schedule works, if they win out, they have a shot with some weird tiebreakers, I think.
All right.
I don't know how the tiebreakers work, but they can get into that scenario.
Who knows how any of the tiebreakers work anymore?
No.
I don't know.
No.
I don't.
No. But there's a scenario where there are more than 2 teams with 2 losses in the conference for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's get into our underdogs here. This one, probably not the best idea, but I'm going for it. I'm taking Georgia Tech money line against Miami. They did it last year. Georgia Tech is fallen off from their little like spurt they had at the beginning of the season where we all thought they could have been something. And this just screams upset to me. Miami is like they're playing with fire. Like they're gonna get burned at one point. Like last week it was close at halftime, but then they ended up just pulling ahead. Like I don't know. This feels like it could be an upset at plus 300.
Good on you for carrying the torch for me.
I know. I was literally thinking that. I was like,
Miami anymore.
I was like,
Especially
someone
not at
has
that
to
value.
do it. Until
I
it
can't
hits,
keep it
someone has to do it.
But speaking of bad ideas, here's a bad idea. I'm taking Florida money line plus 1,100 against Texas. I love that value in an SEC game in a year where the SEC has been just wild. In a situation where Florida looked like a legitimate SEC, like an actual football team last week against Georgia, and Texas has been shaky ever since Quinn Ewers has come back. They have like to me, Texas should probably win this game, but plus 1,100 seems absolutely absurd. Like 600, I could see, but not 1,100. Like that's like they're playing a MAC team.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. I have two underdogs this week. They've both already been mentioned, though. One was Vanderbilt money line at plus 134, and then the other was LSU money line at plus 116.
Rookie
Yeah,
numbers,
I-
Jake. You got to pump those up.
Huh?
You got to pump those numbers up, Jake. Those rookie numbers.
I'm trying to ease back into it.
That's fair.
College hasn't done that well for
Got to
me.
get the jet lag off, you know.
Did
It
Europe
hits
make you
different
soft?
in America.
Is that what it is?
What do you say?
Spend too much, did Europe make you soft? Spending too much time with the French?
All right, hold on. I'm just gonna have to find a crazy NFL underdog now.
I see. I love when we bully Jake into making a bad.
It wasn't.
decision.
It wasn't.
I love
If
it.
you insist.
You insist.
He's like, just wait until we get to the NFL, bro. Just wait.
Yeah. Yeah, those are my two
I like
underdogs
those.
this week.
Yeah. Are you
My,
parlaying
I like
those?
it.
What is
Just
that?
parlay them together, then you got the odds.
Did you? I
That's
know.
true.
Say,
Yeah.
did you
Oh, yeah, I'm
parlay
going
those?
All right, fair enough. My underdog is UCLA money line.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Mostly because UCLA's offense started off all of a sudden like kind of work a few weeks ago, and I think that they can at least put up a good fight against Iowa's defense. And Iowa, frankly, outside of Caleb Johnson, I have no idea what they're going to do any particular week on offense. Like I'm sure he's going to be pretty good. It's just whether that's enough. So I think it's at least a decent shot. UCLA has shown a little bit of life at least. They just beat, I think it was it Minnesota last week that they beat, I want to say.
Yeah.
So
I think they played LSU close.
I don't know. The point is they're at least good enough to give Iowa a run for their money. Also, get Iowa out of the top 25. It is not 1974. Get them out of here.
It's
That's
not
kind
even
of my
2009.
yeah. I'll even give you that now.
Like and that whole era is like those 2000s teams. That's why Kirk Ferentz is still somehow has a head coaching gig, despite just being weird for a decade. That whole team is just weird.
Yes, it's a weird football team. Weird football program.
All right. So who's got parlays for college football?
I got one.
All right. Let's hear it.
4 legs. Been close the last couple weeks. I'm taking Georgia minus 2.5 against Ole Miss. I just don't think Ole Miss is good at all anymore. I'm completely fading them after putting a bunch of futures on them. I'm officially fading them. And then I got Michigan plus 14.5. I think their defense is good enough to keep them in this game. Also, like this is still one of the better teams Indiana's played. This is probably the toughest test Indiana's had so far this year, arguably. So we'll see how they do, but I think Michigan keeps that game close. And then I've got Florida plus 21.5, of course, because that feels really safe. I just don't see Texas blowing them out. And then I'm taking over 40.5 in the Holy War, BYU versus Utah, because I think we're going to see some fireworks in that game. Also, BYU's played a lot of high-scoring games. And I think, too, this could be Isaac Wilson's still playing for Utah now, right? He is, officially
I'm pretty
over.
sure didn't he retire or something at this? I heard, or was that someone else that retired? No, that was Grayson
Cam
McCall.
Rising retired.
I thought it was Grayson. No, I was thinking of Grayson McCall for NC State that retired from. Maybe they both did. I don't know,
but yeah, Wilson. I think Wilson playing against BYU. I think it's going to lead to some extra fireworks. That's a night game. I think it's going to be a little chaotic. A lot of points. And
Sure.
Those 4 games parlay together at with the odds boost, or without it, it's plus 1189. With the odds boost, it's plus 1582.
Nice.
Nice.
Jake, you have a parlay for college
Yeah,
football?
I just take all my picks and put them into one usually. The only one I haven't mentioned is I'm taking Georgia -3 against Ole Miss this week, but yeah, I'm just putting them all into one.
Yeah.
fair enough. I got Georgia Tech plus 10.5. Kind of trailing case there. I'm not taking money line because I don't have to, but
Yeah.
I think Miami is, of course, semi-fraudulent. Just takes one team to make it happen.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt plus 3.5. I mentioned BYU, of course, minus 3.5. UCLA money line. Florida plus 21.5. I'm with you on that one, Dalton. And the LSU plus 2.5.
Like
That
it.
altogether is plus 7,293.
Honestly, that's really good odds for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. Let's go ahead and get over to the NFL, and we're glad to have Jake back. I know he's about to bless us with some crazy underdog in the NFL, so I don't even know who
Bullying
he's going to go with. Yeah, bullied him into it. But we'll get started with our locks. I have to do this one because the line just screams take it. New York Jets minus 1.5 at the Arizona Cardinals. This game with and this is a vibes pick because how the NFL has gone this year, the Cardinals should just manhandle the Jets. But Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams found a little spark at the end of that game last week, and I could see them winning by a field goal in this one. Aaron Rodgers gets him down the field, last second field goal, win it. I'm taking that minus 1.5 as a lock.
I don't mind it with the spread being the way it is.
Yeah.
I'm taking a similar type spread with my lock this week. I got Rams -1 to -112 against the Dolphins. The Dolphins I don't know if they're going to win another game this year.
Yeah.
They're rough. They're rough, and it's only a matter of time before Tua gets hurt again. And
Yeah.
it's really not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And with all their other injuries, were they ever that good to begin with? Meanwhile, the Rams are playing some of their best football right now. I think the Rams are about to really turn things around and probably still win that division. So yeah, I'll take LA.
Yeah.
The vibes are bad in Miami right now. Let's just say that.
Real bad.
All right, my lock of the week. It would be just Cardinals money line, but it's at minus value right now, so I'm just gonna take their Cardinals plus 1.5 against the Jets this week.
Yeah.
The Jets are coming off a nice win, but it was on Thursday Night Football, so I don't really know how much to take from that.
It's not real football.
Also, the Texans refuse to employ an actual player at the right guard spot or whatever guard spot it is.
Yeah,
Very
that is true.
Literally, might as well not have somebody there. It was pretty crazy. Kendrick
Yeah.
Green was playing guard for them at one point. That's all I have to say about that. So.
Yeah, that win didn't do much for me. I still think the Jets are just all around a bad team. And the Cardinals have been kind of surprising this year. They're leading the NFC West right now. Whether that stays the same over
Yeah.
the second half of the season, I'm not sure, but they are a nice surprise. I just think they're a lot better. I'm surprised that they're not favored against the Jets. I think they're better than the Jets.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
take
you
them
have,
at plus
you have to
1.5.
keep the Jets' season alive, so that way we can make fun of them when it still doesn't work out.
Yeah, they
That's
got to
true.
go like 6-11 or like 7-10.
Yeah.
However,
And
right
then
around.
do it all again next year.
They got to stay in the hunt.
Yeah.
My lock is Bills minus 3.5 at the Colts. The Colts, we talked about this before. The first game with Joe Flacco starting after that fiasco didn't exactly produce the results I think they were hoping for.
Yeah.
And I think that organization is just kind of in free fall. Personally, I think while the decision you can debate whether it's right or wrong, I think that it is ultimately going to kind of crater this organization and the people involved in it. And the Bills are just also better than them, frankly. So I don't really need much more reason than that, but it sure helps when they're kind of feeling like they're in free fall a little bit right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, making a decision like that for it to not work really sucks.
Yeah. It's a rough start to it at least. Let me put that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like then again, is the alternative any better?
Well, you see, I'd rather be bad with Anthony Richardson than bad with Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
So that's just kind
I'd
of
rather
my
be
thing.
bad with Anthony Richardson than being bad with him on the bench and like 30
My
Flacco.
only counter to that is at this point you're kind of evaluating for next year.
Mhm.
It's hard to tell what you have as an offense if you're only completing a third of your passes.
That's fair, but also if the passes you complete don't do jack shit, I don't know if it matters that much either. So I think also Flacco, like, yes, he's going to kind of show you a little bit, but if you don't know what you have in these receivers at this point, outside of maybe obviously the rookie, can't think of his name right now because he doesn't do shit right now for whatever reason.
AD Mitchell.
Yeah, AD Mitchell. Other than him, if you don't know what you have at receiver with the guys in there, then
Yeah.
you just don't need to find out. Like,
But at least you're playing actual football. You can actually like evaluate your coaching staff and your offensive line because your offense has a real rhythm and it's like it's a real offense. It's not
yeah.
it's
get
not
that.
an 8-year-old playing Madden on career mode.
I don't know. Again, I just think that
I like
I
the
fundamentally
65-yard deep balls.
That's what I think.
All those.
I fundamentally just disagree with the process because I think that it does nothing for you by playing Flacco. Nothing. And even that, I don't think it really does much for the coaching staff because they either, at this point, Irsay either likes the direction of this team or he doesn't. And if they were told, hey, you got to win some games, then going to Flacco did make some sense. But also, I don't think he's good enough to really do anything in that regard either. Like, I don't think they're going to be a playoff team with him. So,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's a weird situation. But I'm just going to bet against the rest of the year, probably.
Yeah. Well, let's get into our favorites. And speaking of the Colts, I'm betting against the Minnesota Vikings this week, and I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars at plus 4.5 at home. Minnesota is slowly declining and played a Colts team that has lost their identity, as we just talked about for a little bit. So that win really didn't do anything for me. I still think they're not in the same form they were the first 7 weeks of the season. So I'm taking the Jaguars plus 4.5. I know betting on the Jaguars is not smart this season, but I just have to.
I like it.
See, the thing is, you don't have to, Casey, right? Like, no one's making you.
I
No,
know.
this is a good one.
I don't think anybody's making him, right?
I looked at that. For
My degenerate self is making me do it.
Okay.
I'm one out of that.
The Jaguars look just good enough against the Eagles
Yeah.
to like keep us from thinking that they're like we know that they're
Yeah.
ass to keep us.
I would
from
argue
thinking
that
they're,
too.
certified
That
ass.
because it's plus 4.5, the Jaguars will ultimately lose this game, but it doesn't mean they're going to lose by more than that. They could
Yeah.
have a loss that's really funny and stupid.
Yeah.
That's like a walk-off field goal. and then
Yeah.
KC would still be technically right about this.
Yeah.
So.
Like they're up by like, I don't know, a point, and the freaking Vikings have 99 yards to go, and then they just deep bomb Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, they get like a 60-yarder
Yeah.
range, and then yeah, that feels right. I get that. What's your favorite? Dog?
Oh yeah. So I got my favorite bet this week. I'm taking the Texans money line at plus 160 at home against the Lions. I just think. I mean, I get the Lions are a wagon right now, and the Texans have been shaky, but the Texans are still too good of a team, I think, to get plus odds, especially like significant plus odds at home. That felt too good to pass up.
Do we know if Nico Collins is playing this week?
I don't think so.
I have
I hope
not.
so.
I
My
saw
fantasy
him
team beats him.
trending on
Yeah.
Twitter today, but I didn't see what for.
Looking at the injury report, I don't think he is.
Okay, cool. Anyway, we can move on for now then.
Sorry.
I have a question. I wanted that question, so I wanted to make sure. Okay. Because I thought he wasn't playing, but go ahead, Jake.
I don't think it matters, though, to be honest.
All right. Go ahead, Jake.
I'm hearing return, so could suit up Sunday.
Okay, maybe. Okay.
All right, my favorite bet of the week is the Panthers money line at plus 220
Hell yeah.
because nobody should be getting that kind of value against the New York Giants. The Panthers looked like a good. They're playing the Saints, who are really, really bad right now. The Saints
Yeah.
might have the worst vibes of any team. They might be worse vibes than the Dolphins.
Because they have no future. Like, there's nothing there
Yeah.
to be happy about.
Remember the first 2 weeks of the Saints season? They probably
Yeah,
thought
that
they
was
were
really
going to the Super
cool,
Bowl.
and then it didn't happen.
What happened? I just don't get it. How did it fall apart so quickly? Is just one or two injuries in the O-line?
I think the O-line and the receiver injuries, because
Yeah.
they're down, and Olave's been in and out of the lineup and everything else. And also, like, Derek Carr is not good, but he's better than Spencer Rattler as a fifth-round pick, so, like, that helps to not have him playing instead of him. So, I don't know. Saints are just not good. Certified bad. Get them out of here.
Certified.
Sorry,
Yeah.
James, do you have any more on your bet? Sorry about that.
No, you're good. I don't know. The Panthers looked better last week.
Yeah.
You know, Bryce Young looked better.
Threw,
and
like, the
you're-
best interception of all time. Like, it was crazy. Like, that was not a catch instead. It was an interception. It was wild. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but it was insane. I don't know how they caught that. I forget what the corner was, but it was like, wait, that was an interception? Might have been his best throw of the year. What are we talking about? It was pretty funny.
Yeah, at any time you give me plus 220 for a team to beat the Giants, I'm just gonna take it.
Yeah.
Even if it's the 2-7 Panthers, I'll still pull the trigger.
My favorite bet is Detroit Lions minus 3.5. Frankly, I think the Texans are very good, and this really isn't an indictment on them, but they do have some holes, and also I legitimately think that this offense is just okay without Nico Collins in it, especially the passing offense. Like, CJ Stroud's great, but the pass rush has been getting to him really bad, especially up the middle.
Yeah.
Lions don't necessarily have like a huge presence there. I do like Liam McNeil a lot. I think he could definitely be a problem for them, but I just think Stroud's pressing right now a lot. And against a Lions team that he knows is going to put up points most likely when they have the football, I could see it kind of tail spinning this week until Collins kind of gets back and settles in. So if he plays and he's able to play a lot of the game, could definitely sway the direction of things. But as it stands, I just think that they're kind of in this tough spot, especially against a team as good as the Lions are.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's get into our underdogs this week. I have a feeling that a couple of us might have this underdog, and it's at plus 340.
God damn it.
One.
And this is probably the stupidest thing I can do.
I should have known that Casey was going to do it. I did it because I thought
We all did it.
I think we all did we all do it?
And I'm
'Cause we
only
might-
and like every fiber of my being is telling me not to do this because I've even said on this show multiple times this season to never bet against this team
But you
Because
keep
they
doing it
will-
anyway.
They would just throw it right back in your face. But give me the freaking Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs money line at plus 340. Bo Nix, let's see you get it done, buddy.
Divisional games are weird, and the
Mhm.
Broncos might be the most well-built team to beat the Chiefs right now with the way their defense is.
That is hilarious.
Unless they play
but I
the
agree.
Ravens, yeah.
I feel a little worried just after last week
Yeah.
with Denver, but I can see the vibes. I thought about choosing this one too.
The Ravens
Yeah.
will do that to you, though.
Well, now I'm curious.
Well, I wouldn't
Jake
know.
has chose.
But no. Yeah, who do you have, Jake? Because I also have. I have my.
I have
things
that
to
as
talk
well,
about
yeah.
with it. Yeah, I have my things to talk about. But go ahead. I want to hear what Jake has instead.
Okay, I have two.
Uh-oh.
One that I'm taking is the Tampa Bay money line against the
Okay.
49ers this week at plus
Love
220.
Casey,
That was
eat it.
that was a hate bet. Yeah, that was a
Sorry,
hate
sorry
bet
about
for
that, Casey.
earlier comments. I get it.
Jake was like, "Wait a second, the Niners favored by 5.5." Easy dub.
And then my other is the Patriots, also at plus 220 money line against the Bears.
The Bears do the ass, kind of. So.
Yeah, the Patriots are certified ass, but Drake May he's exciting.
He does.
And I think, I don't know what to think about the Bears. I thought they were ass to start the year, and then they started winning some games, and now I just kind of think that they're ass again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, their offensive play calling is straight
Matt
cheeks,
Eberflus
doo doo
is
ass, really bad
ass,
stuff.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
um,
that's a team that's given up.
Yeah.
yeah. So for plus 220 there, I don't think it's. I think it's pretty decent value.
Yeah.
And then the Tampa Bay, this is just vibes for me. They looked good against Kansas City. They should have just went for 2 at the end there.
Should
And I
have.
think they
Bad
won.
decision.
Yeah.
Playing to lose. Do not give. The thing about that
Why
game
choose
was-
to go into overtime when you're playing Mahomes?
It was the funniest game possible because it was literally the microcosm of why the Chiefs are so good. Is that their first and second
Yeah.
downs are disastrous, if not unproductive, and then Patrick Mahomes was like, "Oop, third down, I'm going to go get a first down."
Yeah.
Every single time. It's incredible. Like I can't even be mad about it because I'm like everybody knows
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen, and he does it anyway. And he's like, "All right, my team might not be good, my offense might be bad, my tackles might not know what they're doing most of the time. It don't matter. Just get me to
Yeah.
third down." Wild
Give me a
stuff.
nice 3rd and 11.
Yeah, it does not
Get out
matter.
of
it.
It's
Yeah.
truly stupid. So yeah, that's pretty funny. I get that. I picked the Broncos just because the Chiefs have to lose eventually, theoretically. Right? And this would be the funniest game for them to lose, in my opinion, because if you lose your perfect season, granted it's halfway through the season, not even through Bo Nix, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's just kind of funny. If
10
10 years from now, we're like, remember the time the Chiefs started 8-0 with a bad team, and then Bo Nix beat them on the road?
Yeah.
That'd be funny. That's pretty much. my
This would be a hilarious game for Denver to win.
I don't mean this in a hateful way, but did the Raiders beat the Chiefs last year?
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah, they beat
Yeah.
them. The Raiders are the last
On
team to beat
Christmas.
the Chiefs.
They're the
Yeah,
last
that's
two-
what I thought.
Yeah, didn't Jack
I didn't-
Jones
And they've already lost to
or
them
something?
since then, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack Jones had a pick 6 where he trash talked Mahomes the entire run back.
He did. Yeah.
And
Pretty
then
legendary
pretended to
stuff.
give the ball to a kid in the
Yeah.
stands.
Yeah.
This game has similar vibes to me.
Yeah. Makes sense. The Raiders aren't doing that this year. I mean,
I think
gotta be
Denver
done.
broke their losing streak against KC last year.
They did. Yeah, I remember that game. Good for them.
Yeah. All right.
They're gonna lose now because we all picked.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I already know they're gonna the Chiefs are gonna win by 17 or something stupid, and then we're all gonna come back on here next week, and it's gonna be the same time. We're like, wow, we're so freaking stupid for betting against the Chiefs. We shouldn't do that. Let's not do it again. And week 14, we're gonna be like, they're gonna lose this week. They have to.
I already know that it
They
doesn't
gotta lose.
matter. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are. I'm betting them to lose to the Steelers on Christmas Day because that would make me laugh.
All right, count it. I'm betting that as well.
That's already gonna. I might be
Yeah.
at that game also.
Oh, that'd be
potentially.
dope.
So if I am, I will definitely be laughing if they win that one. But we'll
Yeah.
see.
All right. Before we get into our touchdown parlay, do you guys have any NFL parlays for this week?
Yeah, I got one. I'm actually pretty good about this one. 3 legs. Got Falcons minus 3.5 against the Saints because, like we said, Saints are bad.
Yeah.
Like really bad vibes. I got Bills minus 3.5 against Colts, and Casey, kind of going against you here. I'm taking Vikings minus 4 against the Jags, just because I get Minnesota didn't look great last week, but they still beat a Colts team by a touchdown that I think is still better than Jacksonville. The Jags are just really terrible. So I like those 3 games together. 3 good teams to cover low spreads against 3 bad teams. Pretty much what it is at plus 590.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good value for a 3-legger.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so I only have 2 picks that I haven't mentioned. One was Lions minus 3.5, which I think I share with some of you. And then the other one, I'm taking the over 53 points for Cincinnati and Baltimore tomorrow.
Oh, I love that.
These
I
teams
sure hope so because I'm watching that game because of course I am, and if it's a bad game between those two, I'm gonna hate myself. So
well, it's Thursday, so there's a
that's my
pretty
point. Like it either has to be a shit show blowout or like a shit show like shootout, or I don't want it to be a shit show like 14-7. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they played earlier this year and scored like damn near 100 points combined.
Yeah, it was a barn burner.
12-6.
And yeah, both teams can score, and the Bengals don't really play defense except for when they play the Raiders, apparently.
Yeah.
So I think there'll be a lot of points scored. No.
Yeah.
But it's Thursday, so
anyone can play
it could be a
defense.
solid like 17-13 game or something.
Yeah.
Anyone can play defense against Luke Getsy.
I think when you play the
I guess he
Raiders,
plays
it's not
defense
playing
against the
defense. It's just playing the Raiders. Yeah, it's like it's not really quite the same thing.
Also, that Raiders team by the end of the game, I think had exactly 5 healthy offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Not
Max
really.
Crosby was really close to just walking on the other sideline and staying in Cincinnati, I felt like.
Just keep turning that knife, Casey. Every week. I know the trade deadline's gone, but he still wants to
Because I
do
picked against the Niners.
I know, I had to. I'm sorry.
God, Crosby and Bosa.
Oh, my gosh.
They would be
I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not. I have things I could say. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not getting into it. I do have a parlay plus 6.5 Panthers. Again, Giants are bad. Panthers are bad. But are they plus 6.5 bad compared to the Giants? I don't think so at this point. I don't think so. Bills minus 3.5 already mentioned. Falcons minus 3.5. I'm also on that one as well. I think division games, so you never know. But Saints are just. It's finally over, Saints fans. I think you're going to get your wish a little bit of trying to not just sort of compete. Cardinals plus 1.5. Sorry, Casey. I want the Jets to suffer. That's all.
No, I get it.
Lions minus 3.5 I mentioned, and Broncos money line, which will be the one that destroys this parlay. I already know it. And good thing it's a 1:00 game, so I don't have to think about it too hard after it. But that would be plus 10,191 if it were to hit.
Nice.
But hey, if that Broncos hits, you might get a big cash out offer.
Oh yeah, that cash out's going to be like, you want to just get it right now?
Yeah. Hold up. All right, let's get into our touchdown parlay. We were close last week. 2 or 3 legs hit. Of course, my leg didn't hit because Puka decided to throw a punch.
Awesome.
That was just.
Elite trolling by
the first 2 legs hit, and I was like, dude, we're hitting. I was like, this one's gonna hit with ease. I can't wait to gloat about this. And then all of a sudden, Puka's gone. So. Hey, why not make it harder and let's do a 4-leg this time, and we're going to hit this one. So I'm going to get it started. I'm going Justin Jefferson. Had 137 yards, I think, last week. No touchdown. He's due for a touchdown this week. And plus at minus 105. I'll take that.
Like it.
Boo.
I'm going Tyron Tracy. to score against Carolina because again, Carolina's been terrible all year, especially against running backs. And Tracy looks great and
Oh yeah,
no injury
Big time hit.
designation right now, so he should be good to go.
Yeah, big time hit.
Yeah, I'm taking Jaden Daniels plus 120.
Oh man,
I think the Steelers
Okay.
do win this game, but
I don't know.
this feels like a 1 or 2 touchdown Jaden Daniels game.
It's
Just
gonna be an
running away
awesome
from-
game.
Running
But
away from
that's-
TJ Watt all day. Yeah.
That's to him score a rushing touchdown, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It would be. It would be in the player props. Yeah. Just running away from TJ the whole game. Like, get away from me, you big white man. Run away.
Yeah, or a
Anyway.
Philly special.
Philly special. Yeah. They should do that with him. That makes too much
Yeah.
sense. Throw Jaden Daniels a screen. Watch him get like freaking Looney Tunes out of bounds. It'd be really funny. Jaden, we're gonna run a screen. It's like, why are we doing that? Why are you doing this? I've been doing pretty good.
Minka Fitzpatrick just starts coming down from the second.
Yeah.
You just see part of his helmet like going to the stands. Anyway, my pick is Deontay Johnson to score for the Ravens. He didn't have any targets last week, but only played 17 snaps. Obviously, kind of getting into things. I do think he's going to slot in as that number 2 receiver, and in this offense, at any points with the space they can create, he could go for one very easily. So, curious to see if he can do that.
Yeah, against that Bengals.
And he
defense.
knows the Bengals well.
Yeah.
So.
So, yeah, I like that. And if you take all 4 guys, once again, we have Deontay Johnson, Justin Jefferson, Tracy Jr., and Jaden Daniels. All 4 of those are at plus 2,863.
Healthy.
Yeah, so it's a nice little 4-leg. Takes you throughout the whole day. We got we have the Germany game. I forgot that was going on this weekend.
Oh god.
With the oh my gosh, they have the Giants and Panthers.
Sad week to have in Germany.
That's the Germany game.
That is the
Bad
Germany game.
That would be the Germany game. That tracks.
And then the rest are 1 o'clocks, and then
Not to make Germans hate American football.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Why would
maybe
you pick to send those 2 teams over there?
because I don't know. They're probably just testing the market to see
Germans
if
are
they
weird.
would
They'll
take
love
them.
it for some
Yeah.
reason. They're gonna fall
Yeah.
in love with Daniel Jones.
They can have him.
Yeah. It's gonna be like the Frankfurt Panthers or something like that. But all right, so that's the episode 61. We appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully next week we get on track with the touchdown parlay. We're running out of weeks, but I'm like, follow us on that. Follow us on all of our picks. Let us know if there's anything we should be looking at on your end. Just one thing this weekend, while we were talking, I did take Indiana plus 3,000 to win the national championship as a future.
Who'd you pick? Wait, sorry, what happened?
Indiana for national championship plus 3,000.
Well,
I took that.
nice.
Yeah, Team of Destiny.
Doesn't make the college football playoffs somehow.
Oh God, that is exactly what's going to happen. I just jinxed him. I'm sorry, Hoosier fans.
That would be pretty funny if they don't make
yeah.
it now.
I
'cause-
mean, a loss to Michigan and a loss to Ohio State would do it. Even a loss to Ohio State might do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Don't
like
count out when Penn State
Notre
loses
Dame.
to like Minnesota or whoever the hell they have on their schedule. Left.
Yeah.
Don't count them out to fall out.
Yeah. So.
Wouldn't it be funny if James Franklin manages to lose to
Oh
Ohio
no,
State?
Shane!
And
Don't
then
do
it doesn't. And then like normally it would be the end of the season, but now it actually doesn't matter that much, and then he managed to lose a different game that isn't the one he would normally lose. Elite.
Although there is a scenario, the opposite.
Here we go. Penn State fans are about to spiral. Here we go.
No, but where Franklin buys himself a lifetime extension this year by like if the playoff were to end today, they would get Notre Dame in the first round, a home game against Notre Dame,
Love
and
that.
then they'd get to play against a fraudulent Miami team in the quarterfinals. And if he gets a semifinal berth,
Oh, it's over.
yeah, that's it. He's there for another decade and a half.
He's the next Joe Paterno, but hopefully not the ending.
Oh God. All right, and on that note, thanks again, everyone,
Next
for
Joe
watching.
Paterno is a crazy.
Instead of
That's the next-
stuff coming out about Sandusky, it's
Procom.
Micah Parsons.
Oh God.
Oh, that's already. We already
Michael-
know about that. We know what he's up to.
Well, there
Mike,
may
we know
be
you're
more
watching.
stuff. I don't know.
I hope not.
All right. Well,
How's that lake feeling, Micah?
Penn State. There was an up and down there. You guys were Dalton was taking you guys up this great ladder of going through the playoffs, and then we just ended on a very low note. But thank you guys again for watching, and we will see you next week at 9:30. And also, we'll see you next week when we say the Chiefs won and we're stupid for taking.